Ohio State never feels like a team that we should have any offensive uncertainty for. But with a lot of guys moving on to the NFL, 2023 is going to have a lot of question marks. CJ Stroud, Jackson Smith and Jigba, as well as three starting offensive linemen moved on to the pros. And now we have to figure out, is that going to hold them back? It helps that Ohio State has the best wide receiver tandem in all of college football with Emeka Ibuka and Marvin Harrison Jr., who were explosive and dynamic last year and are only going to get better if they're fully healthy the entire season. Travion Henderson, Mayan Williams are one of the most underrated running back tandems in college football and especially in the Big Ten. But where my concern comes in on the offensive side of the football for Ohio State is one, what does Kyle McCord do? I think that he's going to get there. I think we shouldn't really pause too much when deciding if Kyle McCord can be as good as some of his predecessors. CJ Stroud hit the ground running, and he was also a highly recruited kid, just like Kyle McCord. He's got receivers to lean on. He's got running backs to lean on. But where I think things will hurt them is having to replace those three starting offensive linemen at left tackle, right tackle, and at center. And the two guys returning, I'm not super excited about. With multiple games last year where they were noticeably getting pushed around, having to bring in new faces, inexperienced offensive linemen is a massive, massive red flag. In games where they're going to need to bring an aggressive mentality and come out swinging, having that much inexperience along their offensive line could significantly hurt them. Now, I will say, I feel as though Ohio State's defense has been heavily discounted. Their defensive line looks scary good. It might be one of the best, if not the best, defensive line in all of the Big Ten. I still give that to Illinois, but Michael Hall Jr., Tyleik Williams, and JT Tuimoilau, all three of those guys deserve a lot more recognition for their capabilities. And with them all getting more reps this upcoming season, all three of them being the most talented guys last year and not even fully having significant full-time roles, they are going to be even better in 2023. But again, a lot of question marks to be answered. As we've done so far, let's take a look at their schedule and predict how we think they're going to do this upcoming season. Starting us off at Indiana. Feels weird that that's the first game of the season that they're on the road at Indiana, but I'm not questioning anything there. 1-0 to start the year. Youngstown State, FCS program. The Penguins, not afraid. 2-0, easy start for Ohio State. Western Kentucky, pretty nice opening slate here for Ohio State. Their third game, it's almost a Michigan-esque opening start to the season. 3-0 victory over Western Kentucky. I know that anyone who's tuned into this channel, I'm a big Austin Reed fan. I'm a big Malachi Corley fan. But despite that, maybe they give him a little bit of a scare, but despite that, this is going to be a 3-0 start for Ohio State. Here is where I would like to bring the first losable game to the table. And I say this every time I do these. I like to not overemphasize the wins, but highlight what are the losable games? What are the games that they could possibly lose that will be roadblocks for any team in 2023? And I really do think that Notre Dame is going to get their revenge this upcoming season for last year. We saw how close they were able to play Ohio State with CJ Stroud as the starting quarterback, with a different offensive line. They were able to play them very, very close with horrible, terrible quarterback play from Tyler Buchner. I think that Sam Hartman stepping in and having multiple games to get ready is going to help them get this victory. And frankly, I trust Marcus Freeman and Al Golden to get this defense right and prepared to show up and do some damage against Ohio State. It also helps Notre Dame. They're playing at home. So I'm going to say that this is going to be Ohio State's first loss. Again, I think that Ohio State is going to be a competitive program. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that they're going to go only have 7 wins this upcoming season, but they are worse than they were last year. They're taking a step back. I am not going to sit here and predict them to go undefeated. And that is one of their more losable games on their schedule. So that then gives them a 3-1 start. We're not going to freak out. It kind of reminds me, I will say this, it kind of reminds me of that Oregon game a few years ago in CJ Stroud's first year as a starter, got caught a little bit off guard. They ran the ball really freaking well. CJ Verdell had an explosive, crazy game, and then we've never heard from him ever again. I feel like that game has that type of potential. If you disagree with me, by the way, comment below. 3-1 start to the season for Ohio State. They then host Maryland at home, 4-1. I'm not in on Maryland. I'm not buying into any hype behind Talia Tagovailoa. We've been doing it for too damn long. So that is a 4-1 start. At Purdue, first year for Ryan Walters, you're not going to beat Ohio State. 5-1 start. Now, after that, here's where I think I'm going to get some pushback. They host Penn State at home. A lot of people are making this game out to be a make or break situation for Penn State. It's going to be a defining moment for the upcoming season. And spoiler alert on the Penn State preview show that I'm going to do, or the preview video rather, that I'm going to do, I don't think Penn State wins this game. I don't think that Drew Allar is a foregone conclusion that this early on into his career, he is going to just show up on the road and have a massive performance to beat very talented Ohio State team. So I think that Ohio State wins this game at home. Again, very massive that they don't have to travel to Penn State. And Kyle McCord can build some confidence with a victory over Penn State in this instance. That gives them a 6-1 start. At Wisconsin, I feel that realistically, Luke Fickell, not ready to get that victory over Ohio State in his first season. Give me a 7-1 record. At Rutgers, I think this is an upset. Just kidding. I'm not that much of a hack. Relatively easy victory. A defeatable opponent with all the turmoil that's going on there. After that, Minnesota is their next opponent. I like PJ Fleck. I say this in every video. They're not going to beat Ohio State. And then here's what I feel is going to further upset maybe some Ohio State fans that are watching this video. At Michigan, last game of the season, with likely expectations of maybe making it to the Big Ten championship game, the possibility of still making the college football playoff is going to be on the line when they have to face off and travel to Michigan. It really sucks that after last year, after losing all of these guys, you have to go on the road to play at the Big House. I really think that Michigan's going to go undefeated this year. Michigan returns the most out of anybody in the Big Ten. And I'm not going to sit here and pick an inexperienced team with a new quarterback, new players coming in on the offensive line to beat on the road a team that returns a lot of offensive linemen, both the running backs, so much talent. Go watch the Michigan video. I don't need to break it down further. Michigan's going to win this football game, giving Ohio State a 10-2 record in the 2023 season. If you disagree with me, drop a comment below. Let me know where you think I'm wrong. I just want to tell you folks about an exciting new partnership that we have with this channel with Underdog Fantasy. Ever since I joined, I've been having so much fun. There are so many different exciting games that make watching games during the offseason more exciting. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but it has made it way more entertaining since I found Underdog Fantasy. And my favorite game to play so far, which I think you should try out, is Pick'em. It is so easy to play. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your Pick'em slip, get every pick right, and take home some cold, hard cash. Use code HACK, H-A-C-K, HACK, like the name of this channel. Use code HACK to get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Go sign up. You won't regret it. You're going to have a blast. Check out Underdog Fantasy. I also want to tell you folks about our other recurring sponsor that we have on this channel, that being BetOnline, betonline.ag, which is all the updated odds, news, and anything for sports betting. It's my go-to source for when I want to be betting specifically on games. I love betting on college basketball or the NBA. Especially, again, during the offseason, always looking for more fun ways to be focused in on some of these other sports. It's betonline.ag and use promo code BELIEVE50. It's promo code BELIEVE50 to get 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.